Sí, babe. Sí, babe. Sí, babe. It's the Looney Show. You know what up?
Hello, y'all. We are back, and this is our third episode of Lost Women on the Highway Lost Women on I-20 or Highway 20, and it was on HBO Max, and we just finished up this third episode, and just wow, just overall just wow, because like it's crazy that he was able to get away with as much as he was able to get away with. Just terrible police work.
I don't think, not only terrible police work, it's just the law for whites in America is way different for everybody else.
It is very
Like, y'all can basically get away with being a serial killer, will not get caught. He was questioned so many times. He was interviewed. He helped with the searches, all that, to still continue to go on and kill women.
Yes, he killed women. I mean, for what it seems like, he killed women for about a span of like about 15, almost 20 years.
Yes.
And then, he was finally convicted. But they also couldn't find any bodies for these, for these missing women, and he would never own up to where these bodies were.
And the fact that they did take the convictions without getting the disclosure of where the bodies were, so the victims and their families don't get any closure.
Yes.
It's just a lot of things, with this, with John. Also, we found out, guys, that it was two. It was Roger and John.
Yes, Roger. It was John and Roger Bond that were responsible for Kay Turner's death.
Yeah. Now, to me, my speculation, I feel like he was also responsible for the two little girls with them, but they never got Roger on that.
Right. There was. I mean, there's just a lot.
I believe, like, when serial killers like link up like that and kids start to kill with each other, I don't think they stop. They get comfortable. So I don't think that was their last murder together.
Maybe. I mean, we'll never know
because they never found the other bodies. And
well, at the time they didn't, because at the time he was locked up, they didn't find the bodies until like 20 years later.
Yeah. And I got a question. Was Kate before his stepdaughter?
Remember, Kay Turner was the first victim, and that was she was in 1978.
And we don't know what happened with the stepdaughter. Him and Roger were still friends.
Nobody knows.
And it's funny because during the interview, he threw Roger under the bus. When they asked, do you know who might have done it? And he said his friend Roger. But they didn't lock Roger up or him at that time.
No, they did not. They didn't do anything. Because of the simple fact everything was circumstantial. There was no physical. The most interesting thing about all of it was that it was no physical evidence to tie him. There was all circumstantial. And certain things could have been explained away, even with the disappearance, and even with the disappearance of
it's not my fault that everywhere I go, girls go missing.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how he played it. It was like, I don't know, these things just like up and happen, and like I don't know, women just up and disappear. I don't know.
So here's the kicker, right? We told y'all at the end of last episode that they moved him to a college town to monitor him. It was no monetization. He was able to once again move freely. And we found out clarification. They did move him. He had a government job. And they kindly moved him so they can so-called keep an eye out on him.
Yes. Yes.
Privilege at its finest.
Yes, because it was said that he was actually driving about 130 plus miles per day, and because he was a field mechanic for the public for the Oregon Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
So he drove down I-20 pretty much every single day, and even the guy that he was working with stated that it's like I never saw him for even like weeks at a time, and you the police are going to try to monitor a guy that again driving like this. Good luck.
I mean, who is under speculation of possible murder and still get to keep their government job?
White people.
Bro, yeah. And was able to kill women in a government vehicle. That's how he were actually getting his women. They were trusting taking a ride from someone who was driving a government vehicle.
Well, yeah, government vehicle. I mean that's very true, and not to mention it's just like it. It was also a very different time. So people,
they said it. They were hitchhiking.
Yeah, people were hitchhiking at that time. Now his first victim, the Native American lady, Marlene.
Yeah.
When she was talking about that, she said it was a different time. She's like, people did hitchhike, and it was actually a lot. It was I was like, yeah, you're probably right. It was safer. It was probably safer back then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like people weren't doing crazy stuff like that. So it's just like this thing happened because of the simple fact he is a creep. He is a weirdo.
I mean, you do have to think about it. We do have to ask ourselves, when do we move from the climate of becoming just this to like serial killing, mass shooting? Like, we're so violent now. So I'm like, when did the climate change? When was the shift? Like, it's weird. It's way more violence. We are not safe. Kids can't go outside and play. They can't walk themselves to school, take the bus like we could.
It's our laws. I mean, at the end of the day, it just gets down to our laws. It really does.
Yeah. I do believe that there's not enough punishment when it goes to certain crimes.
Yes.
And then, since there's not enough punishment when it goes to certain crimes, there's no deterrence from doing the crime.
Exactly. And in this case, with John Aykroyd, I just feel, it was like, again, I say bad police work, very bad on the, oh my God, the prosecution, the judge, whoever the judge was. I don't know if he knew him or what.
It seemed like it.
That's how I felt. I felt like, did you know this man? Because what was so interesting that the investigative reporter brought up was that he was able to get no contest plea on the disappearances of Rashanda Pickle and the other two girls.
Yeah.
I think it was Sandra or Bridget. Sorry if I'm wrong, but again, you guys should go watch it. But yeah, and so he was basically could never really say anything. Was never going to say anything about these crimes.
Like, they sealed this record. He wasn't required to tell them where the body was. And I think this is why people have a problem with people being tried in their places where they're familiar, because you get prosecution with your buddies, you get a judge that you grew up with, you're also definitely are being judged by your peers, but that's your peers that's closest to you.
But that's the biggest question, because if that judge actually knew him,
yeah,
that judge would like everything, like the whole, even the judge, who's probably more than since retired, you know what I'm saying, or dead at this point. Like, what would happen with him? He get disbarred at this point? Was he going to get tried, or you know what I'm saying? What happens?
Nothing.
Because he was supposed to recuse himself.
Nothing. And I think that's the problem that we have with these laws, with our judges, with our Congress, with our educators. We are living in a world with these people, and they have the position to govern. And with that, they're able to make certain decisions that's not on the behalf of the community. And you were allowed this man to get a slap on his wrist for serial murders. Not only that, seal the records and don't give any family any closure on trying to locate these bodies.
It took over 20 years. And they did find those two girls. They did find the two girls. A cold case investigator is probably still in the process of trying to figure out what happened and trying to find these other people. But they also found these other bodies that are unaccounted for.
Yeah, and up and down Highway 20,
up and down I-20, even including a brother and a sister, like teenagers. Like, and it was just like, and it's so interesting because it's like, it makes you wonder about how much Roger did, because it could have been one of those things where Roger could have been actually the mastermind with everything, and him being
yeah. I mean, because when I definitely thought it was two of them when I heard about the girl and the boy, I was like, okay, this not just girls. So I felt like it was two of them. And because his other two victims, he took them at the same time too. It's very hard for a serial killer or just a killer to control two victims at the same time without help.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about a fight. If you're not used to it, this is a big guy. He doesn't look like he's trained to do a lot.
No.
So to me, and these are young girls, I'm pretty sure scratching, running. When you're in fight or flight, you're not just letting this guy do whatever to you. So I also felt like it was two killers. Like it screamed this whole third video that it was two killers. And we said that. We was like, what's next? And they pull out Roger on us.
Yeah, they pull Roger out. They pull Roger, but the thing about it is there's also not so much being pointed to Roger, because of the simple fact, of course, we're focusing on Rashanda.
Yeah.
That Rashanda and those victims, because of the simple fact because that's where it needs to be anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's like Rashanda still has not been found to this day, and her brother still to this day does not have closure about what happened to his sister almost 35 years ago.
And these women was failed. It was so many signs.
Yeah.
So many signs. And every last one of them was missed. Mm-hmm. And it's just sad.
I'll be completely honest with you. Also it's just like Rashanda's mom, failed them too.
Oh my gosh. Still to this day, she couldn't believe that the man she was messing with would do this to her daughter. I never understood women like that. It's just like we really cling on to a relationship so bad that we can't believe this man can do any wrong, even when it's signs directly in our face. Now, even though he didn't murder her son did say that he kind of was very physically abusive.
No, he was. He said that that John was physically abusive to him and Rashanda.
Mm-hmm.
He had a paddle.
Yeah.
So but the thing about it is, he wasn't hitting her. Hitting their mother.
Yeah, she just thought it was just normal discipline. Stepfather would give their stepkid.
Yeah, but he also wasn't hitting her either. That was the other thing.
comfortable.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Rashonda's mom came from her abusive dad relationship. So I guess she found comfort in this. Sorry, guys, I knocked over my glass. That's what you heard. She also found like comfort in being in a relationship where a guy didn't abuse her. And according to episode 1, they weren't really having sex like that either.
No, I mean, and it's kind of gross to hear, but the best night of sex that they had, and John actually said this in an interview after Rashanda's disappearance, was that he and Rashanda's mother had the best night of sex after the night she was missing, gone, missing. It's so gross. Like, how do you say that? About your own, like during, especially when your stepdaughter is missing. Like, it's just very interesting for parents to act when your child is missing. And again, it's just like, I'm not going to try to sit here and bash bash Rashanda's mother, but she just did not do a good job of protecting her at all. And it's just like there was obviously some signs where you needed to where you needed to perk up and be like, hey, whatever, you need to protect your children.
Yeah.
And I just think she got comfortable for the simple fact of, this man not only does not hit me or abuse me, he also takes care of the home.
Yeah.
And I'm able to live, I'm able to afford to live a certain way. But your kids were suffering with him because he was abusive towards the kids.
And I am not here to sit here and judge women, because I have been in some weird relationships, but a lot of the times it seems like she got caught up into just finding peace that she got complacent. Because Rashonda's father, Mr. Pickle, which we accused the first episode, wasn't a saint. So I think she was like, okay, I got to provide her now. He doesn't hit me. I completely understand that. You don't see the red flags when you are coming from something that is toxic.
I agree with that.
Mm.
And it's, yeah, I mean, yeah, and I can also halfway agree with that too, because it's just like
you feel like, okay, this is better.
This is better. And so it's just like, well, maybe it's like, well, this is something with, and I get that. I totally get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm like, but it did come a time when she just had to realize if he's been convicted of killing women, that it's possible that the reason why her daughter is missing, and we're not talking about like Rashonda wasn't one of them kids that ran away. So your daughter is missing. She
was literally, in my view, now that you just said that, it's giving like 2 + 2 = 5, because you have to carry the one. Like, and we all know, like, trying to make it make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I got the vibe that she was really trying to make it make sense, and I just feel like it was right in front of her. Like, you're with a man who has been dealing with the cops, talking with the cops, being questioned by the cops, has been questioned by the cops for years ago for a previous girl that's disappearance. What more do you need to say, you know what, I think you probably need to investigate my husband.
And she supported him while he was locked up for Kate.
That is wild.
She was still his pen pal buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Really, bro?
Oh my goodness. See, we can't now. See, we can't control what happens outside. That was so funny.
That was a honk for Rashonda.
Really, a honk for Rashonda and all the rest of the victims. Really,
yeah, it's sad.
No, it is.
That people don't get. I can't imagine dying so gruesome, and for me not to receive justice. For none of these girls to receive justice because the system failed them. Because it's made to protect certain individuals and criminalize others. Like the Native American woman said, or I forgot her name, the one that he raped in the beginning, and we had that discussion on episode 1 about was she drunk or not. She said it. If she would have been heard in the beginning, none of these women would have died.
Nope. No, she is 100% correct. If they would have listened to her, none of this would have happened.
They protected him and demonized her for having a drink.
Yes, they did.
And in the process, their morals killed women.
Mm-hmm. It's just, it's really disgusting to see, honestly. Just the amount of, when they were showing on a map, and the amount of bodies that they found along I-20. You know what? It just,
After his death.
Mm-hmm.
After his death too.
Yeah, and after his death as well. By the way, because John Aykroyd did die in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Died in prison with a massive heart attack because he was fat as fuck. He was. I could and that's also the other thing. Like, when I'm thinking about doing this, whatever. How was he chasing these women? Because I don't think he was running.
No, he was a very, very big guy. I did see strong in his eyes. Like, his face, he did give me that type of, he seemed like a nice guy, but when he switched, he's real mean and nasty. But he is a very big guy. I felt like he had a partner.
Yeah. No, I definitely, I can run with that theory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just,
it wasn't just him.
Yeah. Because it's just, he had to have had some help. And it's just like, but it's very interesting because I guess my thing is just like, where was Roger? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and obviously when they did because it's like, obviously Roger was with him when he did the 2, or was, when he was.
Roger was right there with him in the background, because remember when they were sitting there searching for Kate? He said, I was with my friend Roger. Roger has always been there. I think he's just an idiot and made him put his face first. Mm-hmm. I think Roger was the brains.
I mean, I think it's a strong possibility. I do. And the only reason I say that,
and the simple fact that
it's the boy for me.
I think that nobody really put 2 and 2. These wasn't the brightest people. I don't think nobody guessed. Like, it may have been they did more murders than just one. Why would you think that John only did one, but him and Roger did one?
Yeah, well, I mean,
and not Roger partake in any other murders. I would have been like, well, maybe.
No, and I agree. And the thing is, I'm
thinking they weren't the brightest.
No, I agree with that. It's just, it's just very interesting because I think they've been so focused on trying to
get John.
Well, trying to get John. They're focused on trying to find out what's happened with Rashenda.
Yeah.
That's been their main focus. What happened with Rashenda? What happened with those girls, because their bodies were still missing.
And remember, they only got Roger because of his ex-wife. They would have never got Roger.
Yeah, no.
They always had eyes on John.
Yes.
It was the ex-wife that gave Roger up.
Yes. Well, it was her way out. That was her way out.
So they never was looking at him. They still continued to not look at Roger into these murders. But wow, guys.
It was just such an interesting story. I definitely want to know what has changed, and in that story over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What new developments have happened, because if Rashanda's body has been found, if the two other women's bodies have been found, if those other bodies have they been named, because they're Jane Does.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of there's just so much going on, and like what I was saying about with this show really just shows and highlights how terrible our laws are, and especially in protecting women. That's just like bottom line. And it's just like, it's literally set up to protect a man. Mm-hmm. And it shows that, especially a white one.
Mm-hmm.
And look,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Like, not only just, I'm like, our system is set up to protect white men.
it is set up to protect a white man all the time, no matter the time.
Yeah.
And looking at John Aykroyd, he, and even listening to him speak,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, just gave me that old actor's name, Orson Welles, kind of a knockoff Orson Welles type thing, because that's
another thing. He wasn't that bright, but he happened to outsmart them for 20 years.
He was articulate. That's the thing. He was articulate,
and they couldn't see past that.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh gosh,
that's it. He was very articulate, and it was like, and that was it. He was articulate, and he could read. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, and he used that to his advantage.
Mm-hmm. And to understand that, you have to understand where a majority of the people came from.
Yeah.
And why they will value that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it was like, and also in just how he moves. He was smart in how he moved. You know what I mean? He was.
I think we already told y'all we're gonna stay up with the newest entertainment. Go check it out, please, y'all. Lost Women of Highway 20. Let's not forget these women. Check out the documentary.
All right, HBO Max. Remember that, y'all. Take care.